The school bus saga deepens, and now Damion Crawford has stepped into the ring to show his support for what Mark Golding has considered to be a foolhardy plan. And like I've said in my previous video, what is written stands forever. So I will just read what came out in today, July 25th Observer. Now, Jamaica has two main newspapers. The Jamaica Gleaner has been around for over 100 years, I'm almost sure. And the Observer, I know it started sometime maybe in the late 80s, early 90s, I believe, because yeah, I think it was about 90s. We can check on that, but that's not pertinent to this discussion. I had to read this article, and I'll read a little bit of it to you because I want you all to help me make sense. I'm not even given my point of view. I just want somebody to help me understand this properly. It states opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damion Crawford, has predicted that if the government rolls out the planned rural school bus program before Jamaicans vote in the next general election, the backlash could be painful for the governing Jamaica Labour Party. Somebody help me understand, because school reopens in September and constitutional elections are due by September. Now, Damion Crawford is saying if the school buses roll out in time for the start of the new school year, the JLP will have such a backlash that it would be painful. Now, I'm not going to use the narrative like some who will say they're not the smartest in the room. Me smart, not putting down myself. Somebody need to make me understand, make it make sense, how providing transportation at the beginning of a school year would have a backlash on elections. I don't know. I'm not into the political sphere that way. I'm not a part of the machinery. I don't know the ramifications, but I don't understand. Help me understand, I beg. The article goes on to say, if the JLP wants to go to the polls until school starts, I'm sure they will lose the election because everyone will realize that this is madness, Crawford told the journalist during an education policy briefing in the corporate area on Thursday. Thursday would have been yesterday, the 24th of July. The article goes on to say Crawford, the People's National Party's caretaker for St. Catherine Northwestern, has been a vocal critic of the government's planned rural bus program. And during the media briefing, he declared that while the opposition is not opposed to effective transportation system for children in rural Jamaica, what is now being proposed by the Transportation Minister, Darrell Vaz, is impractical. The units in the school bus system at any given time can carry 48 children, so the others will have to take something else. So if you should look, for example, at Linstead to Spanish Town route, which is an established route that is currently being operated because of the train being out of service. Look here, I'm going to stick a finger right there, so. And I don't know why these people have to say things to get me all upset. I am going to be the point of reference. Me know these things. Personal experience speaking now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the train system in Jamaica stopped running when I was age 12. My birthday gift for turning 12 was to ride the train or the summer leading up to my birthday. No. How can they honestly, truthfully, rightfully bring the train into this conversation? Now, some people put up their hand and say, you're missing something. And I will step back to the occasions twice when there was an attempt to restart the trains. I remember vividly, and I hope we can get an image of those trains that were brightly colored, yellow, green, and black. And the train system started. We will get those dates for you. I'll put them in the description. And it ran for a very short period. Then it stopped. Time number one. Time number two, the trains started up again. I remember the rollout. I remember it was like a 6 o'clock train that morning. And the who is who's were on the train. And I think it was the same Spanish Town route into wherever. And it was a lot of fanfare. And then it stopped. So if these two short stints of the train is being brought into this conversation, it makes little to no sense. I'm just being very honest. By measurement, the length of time that the train system operated on those two stints would not be enough for it to be measurable. There's no, the data plus time is what is needed, and the time element isn't there. So why would Damion Crawford now be talking about the train? You know, sometimes I wonder about the selective memory and the selectiveness. Or maybe it is just that them things that all away. I don't want to say a fool, you know, but are we so... Must I only take my facts from what you, the politician, says? Or do I have a mind of my own? And would I have been following the stories to have my own enlightenment? I don't know. And I don't know why Damion Crawford is trying to get me annoyed, you know. Because I always thought he was such a brilliant chap. I love the fact that he's all in for education, even though when he tried to bring education into his constituency, the people them run him. The people them said them no want education, them want money. This little island of ours, you know. This little island of ours. Anyways, the article, and we must get back to the article. The article is talking about the train. And I don't know why them start to talk about the train. But we will continue. Now the article continues by saying the bus leaves at 6 a.m. and it returns at 8:30 a.m. So the bus can only do one trip within the open period. The bus can only do one trip within the open period of school because they must reach school by 8 a.m. So that bus, if there is 400 students, Lord Jesus, subject agreement observer, if there is 400 students, where is Michael Kelly, my wonderful English teacher? No, we're under God's earth. Come on, people, get the thing right. If there are 400 students, it cannot be if there is. Anyway, calm down, Sheri, calm down. Listen, everybody will get a taste of my wrath, you know, because this is not politics. This is learning. This is sense. If our same children are supposed to read this article and the subject agreement is wrong, how are they going to write standard English? The press is supposed to present accurate, flawless information. And even if The young Senator Crawford had said, and you're quoting him, if there is 400 students, good God Almighty, adjust the quote and write the thing how it's supposed to be. So it should be if there are, anyways. If there are 400 students in Linstead at any point, that bus can take 48, leaving 352. Yes, we know, say my maths brains. But good Jesus, man. Subject agreement. Him can do maths, but you have to do little English too. It continues to say, so at that 352 will have to take the same taxes. Now, this is just sense. Everything that happens will not be complete. And we just jump to the United States. We have watched many programs where there are children who do not live on the bus route. And so, even in the big United States of foreign, these students, because of where they live, or if them leave out late and miss the bus, them have to find other ways to reach to school. Now, are they gonna put one bus on the route? I don't know. Of 110 buses, will it be one per community? And let us say yes, it's just one per community. If I were the parent, grandparent, caregiver, or guardian of a child or children, and there are only 48 places, I am going to muster all the possibilities to get my children to be in those 48. Now, I understand what he's saying, that there's just not going to be enough. But algo is algo. You know, something beat nothing. I don't understand. Somebody make me understand. So because I cannot save the world, don't try to help one. This is what I'm getting now from Damion Crawford. Damion Crawford is saying, because the buses will not be able to transport every single picnic and child, don't bother do it. Very interesting. Now, back to my bus situation and riding on the bus steps. As much as I loved all the other children, all my other peers going to school, the only pain I felt was mine. The only person I can really talk about and know intimately what that person went through was me. So I talk about me. So if one child, or in this case, 48 children, are able to get on the bus at 6 o'clock and get to school on time, hooray! I'm very happy for that. The article goes on to say, according to Crawford, the claim by VARS that the rural school bus system will address the problem of students battling to get into taxis, which are often unsafe, is nothing but a distraction. Ay, Dios mío, pero Dios mío, que llega un momento que ni yo puedo entender la tontería que está diciendo ese hombre, pero ya está bien. Look here, when me get upset, me have to switch language, you know, because me just can't manage. I cannot manage. Somebody help me understand this now, please. Help me understand. This is a red herring that the Minister of Transport has thrown out there. Then he goes on to say, in the 2015 JUTC, that's the Jamaican Urban Transit Company. Sometimes I read these things, I'm sure it's me. It can't be the person who writing it. In the 2015 JUTC, in 2015, and me angry. Calm down, girl, calm down. The article states, in 2015, JUTC transported 100,000 children. Currently, JUTC transports 5,500 children because the bus numbers have moved from over 400 to under 300. It means, therefore, that under this minister, That is not even proper grammar, but I'm not doing grammar credit. Come, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Under this minister, he has forced 95,000 more children to take taxi. And see, client calling, to be continued. Let us just take a quick pin here, because even though I had to go off and attend to my clients who are looking to do 6 cabins for Christmas with Royal Caribbean, my mind instantly traveled to another situation. And from time immemorial, as far as I know, the Farmwork program has been a major earner of foreign exchange for Jamaicans who are in the rural areas. Now, stay with me. Stay with me. Remember, we're talking about this rural bus system. And I'm sure you'd agree that the average farmer lives and works in rural Jamaica, because we don't have no farm in the cities, in the towns, in the town centers. All right, I'm going somewhere with it. Did you know that the farms, both in the US of A and Canada, use school buses to transport our farm workers? Did you also know that the farms do not provide an independent driver to drive these school buses? I know some of you are wondering, where is she going with this? Let me help you real quick. Now, I was connected for many years, as a matter of fact, without telling you too much of my business, which I probably told you in another video, so you might have to go find that the video, go watch. But my connection with a former farm worker, not to mention the fact that I was also instrumental in getting several other persons on the farm work program. We're not going to, I no longer have a connection with the farm work, because I don't want anybody now to ask me if I can connect them. My connection is broken. It's over. But I put that in the position to explain to you that up on being made aware that farm workers have a general driver's license from Jamaica, they are instructed to take an international driver's license with them to the farm, because they will now be the authorized driver of these school buses, same school buses under this debate, which will be used to take the farm workers around, take them to the farm in the mornings, pick them up, take them to lunch, pick them up, take them shopping, pick them up, take them to sort out their money business when their pay is deposited in their accounts. Now, I say all of this to ask you one simple question. Am I to believe that these school type buses that are good enough to transport our farm workers, up to 10,000 in some years, as the Ministry of Labor will confirm, if these school buses are good enough to take our farm workers to and from and up and about, driven by our same farm workers, our Jamaicans, and their children who live in rural Jamaica, who need to go to school, are now going to be offered the opportunity to ride in these similar type buses by trained drivers, because our Jamaicans are not trained to drive these buses. All you need to do is be able to drive and have your international driver's license with your general driver's license. You don't even have to have a PPV. Now I'm talking from fact, experience. Me know, because I did have to push certain ones to make sure that they did not leave Jamaica without their international driver's license, so they would drive these school buses. If their children, the farmers in Jamaica, in rural Jamaica, are now going to be able to travel in like buses to and from school, are you suggesting Damion Crawford, Mark Golding, and the like, that these buses are good enough for our farm workers in Canada, farm workers in the US, who are sending home all of this money to make Jamaica great again? Hmm? Are you trying to suggest that the bus is good enough for them in a big foreign, but it's not good enough for their children here in Jamaica to go to school? On the need to make me understand. Somebody need to explain a few things to me. Where are we really going with this conversation? Why the fight? Why are people in my comment section telling me, for example, that me just love old broke? Huh? Me want old bus. I am supporting old buses. But when the farm workers them come out and them a show off and a buy round of drinks with everybody who is at the bar, why only drinking that money that was earned based on transportation in these said school buses? As a matter of fact, let us stick one another pin. Did you know that at the Ministry of Labor's downtown office, when the farm workers are going to get them Canadian visa, to get them US visa, and to get to the airport, is the same type of school bus them drive, them carry, them go? Want to make me understand. Why are we now being so two-sided, two-mouthed? Because if my memory serves me right, when the farm work tickets are being given out through the members of parliament, irregardless of the P that they belong to, aren't they distributed to both parties? And isn't it that these young persons are not so young, because some people that on farm work 30 years, I know that as a fact too. Isn't it true that either party will give their constituents these farm work tickets? And once you have been successful, you passed your medical, you have been told, yes, you're going, your passport has been sent up, your passport is available to be picked up for the day of travel. These are the people who are going in similar type school buses. And let me just close by telling you this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Those buses, to drive them, the steering wheel tough like the hide of a cow. In other words, whomever has the distinguished job of driving these buses will build upper body strength. And I'm just putting that in there for you to understand that this is a labor of love, even to sign up to be a transporter of children. And I would hope, and this is where Minister Vaz and I will need to have a conversation, that these people would also be doing the background checks, that there is nothing unscrupulous in their backgrounds, because they will now be entrusted with our precious cargo, the children, our future. So listen, people, I beg, wanna stop play politics with the picnic them. Stop it. Wanna need to stop it. This is about education. This is about our future. So what if an election is won or lost on a school bus? Hey, that kind of sound cute, you know. I should use that for a topic. Elections won and lost on school buses. Anyway, I digress. Sometimes my mind goes all over the place. But suffice it to say, honestly, I'm going to get passionate. And listen, nobody would ever believe I'm not really a talker, you know. So when you see me talk and I go on, so you know say it reach deep down. And I just wish that if you want to campaign campaign on what you must. But on the left, the people them picking them out of it. Leave the children out of it because we were children. We are watching. I watched, I remember, and I'm not even going to say what I was going to think. But I remember when the politicians would come and campaign, and they would say to me all their sweet lines. And yet when I said, come, step aside. This is 18-year-old me, just get my first privilege to vote. Let us talk about the issues that concern young people. They were not too interested in that. They just wanted to come, shake on, and walk on. We're not at that place anymore in Jamaica. Things have changed. And the change started with people like me. Talk the talk and then walk the walk. You're being held accountable. So we don't care which P do and which P don't. But remember that when you get into office, you're going to be held accountable because, as I have said before, paper and pen stay and go into archives. We will pull back on what was committed and we will hold you to bear. So don't allow the pitney them and allow the buses. Make the bus them roll out, man. If the bus them now work, we get new buses. But let's start somewhere, Jamaica. Come on, do better than that. Y'all know I got lots to say, but this is it for now. So, ciao for now.